Well, picture this. Saturday morning, supposed to be up, knocking on doors, but instead, you're knocking back plates at the buffet. Yep, you heard it right, guys. Today, we're going to be diving into a story about a field service routine that I have to say made it honestly more bearable than it would have been otherwise. So, to protect the name of the brother, we're just going to refer to him as Brother Buffet throughout this story. And for those of you who were previously Jehovah's Witnesses, you kind of know the routine. 9:30, you meet. We usually open with the daily text, and then you're broken down into car groups. Say a prayer, and you're off on your way. But there was this one particular brother, man, where if you got paired with him, you kind of already knew what time it was. And, before I even get into the story, let me just give you a little bit of backstory on this guy. He was disfellowship for like 20 years. Even when he came back, he was kind of one of those dudes that's just like, he's there, but he's not too much into it. Spiritually weak, if you will. Watching R-rated movies, which you know is frowned upon. Never really carrying mics or used for any type of assignments at the hall. But, I mean, he was baptized, reinstated, and that's what it was. Now, what's interesting about that is those are the type of friends that I gravitated towards. Like, for the uptight ones, they would look at that as like spiritually weak. But to me, like that's more a more reasonable approach. Not so like picky about every single thing. Like, oh, your suit's too tight, or oh, that looks whirly, or oh, you sound whirly, or oh, you shouldn't play. Like, he wasn't really on that. But that's, how it was in actuality. Like, the spiritually weak guy is the one who actually had the car group laughing and had you eating good and making the day bearable. And the spiritually strong brothers, those are the ones nitpicking at everything, making field service a pain in the ass. So, what was field service actually like with Brother Buffet? All right, literally, by the time you get out and about, it's usually close to 10. Burn like a good 30 minutes. Get your time started, as they say. And I kid you not, after about 30 minutes of that, this dude would literally drive to Golden Corral and sit in there for the remainder of the morning. Y'all gonna have to bear with me on this because this junk is it's funny to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and it's crazy because I told you already, they already kind of looked at this dude as kind of weak or whatever. And what he would do is probably something that would kind of validate that. So picture this. It's him, his wife, and then the wife had like three kids, but the bottom line is it was five of them. And so him and the wife would go into Golden Corral first and pay the costs for two people to eat. Once they found the table, they would message for the three children to kind of just slide in and just start eating. So technically, five people eating for the price of two. So I don't know. Like, I can kind of see why they might thought this dude was a little whirly. But nevertheless, like, he was cool with me. Like, I can remember times where I actually went to this brother's house. One of the kids, me and him were cool as well. So I would go there, play the game with the kid, with the son. And Brother Buffet, a lot of times he would like leave money on the table, like, hey guys, I'm going out. Here's some cash. I'll order y'all food, play the game, do your thing. I'll holler at you. Like, just a real chill guy. And so again, it's crazy that like the spiritually strong minded brothers are typically the assholes, and the ones that are weak are the ones that actually were cool to be around. Let me give you a real life example of that. Brother Buffet actually had two other brothers. One of them was in Bethel, for a period of time. And the other brother, the middle guy, last time I heard, he was like professing to be of the anointed and or whatnot. I don't know. The one who says he's of the anointed. One time we were watching a movie together. We're going to call him Brother T. We were watching a movie with Brother T. It was Stomp the Yard. For those of you who aren't familiar with the movie, it was like a movie about some kids in a sorority and they were just like having dance competitions. But the style of dance, it was like a crunk type pop locking, more so like a urban style dance. And there was another brother that was in the congregation that was from New Jersey who also had watched the movie, and I remember him like demonstrating some of the moves one day. Like he actually could do it. And so after watching Stomp the Yard with Brother T, I told him like, "Hey, did you know that so and so from the congregation, like he can actually dance like that?" And he's like, "What?" He's like, "That's whirly, man." It's like that stuff is whirly. And so I'm like, dude, like give me a break, man. So there's just so many so many layers to that. Number one, I don't know what makes a dance whirly or not whirly. That's number one. And then two, what's the difference in you sitting here watching it with us for entertainment versus a brother who can actually do the dances in real life? But that's just a prime example, guys. Holier than thou, self righteous, and this guy was looked at to be like one of those spiritually strong guys. And to be real with you, like he had some stuff with him his own self. Like, I'm gonna tell you what this guy would do. I know I'm talking about a few different brothers here, but the main brothers are Brother Buffet from Golden Corral and his biological brother, Brother T. So I remember working with Brother T out in the field ministry, and McDonald's, like, you can get the sweet tea, and this dude would literally get a sweet tea for $1. And this cat would use the same sweet tea cup for like months at a time. And he gonna have the nerve to stand there and say, "Oh well, it says free refills." Like, dude, it's free refills for the time period that you're in the restaurant. Like, I don't know. Like, is that whirly? Like, but it's okay for you to get bottomless sweet teas, but a guy that just happens to know a certain style of dance, oh, he's whirly. Now, Brother Buffet, he probably placed more waffles on his plate on Saturday morning than he did Watchtower magazines. But again, that was cool with me. And the thing is, a lot of you guys can relate to that. Like, especially if you were talking about one of those days where it was kind of like, I don't know, rainy outside and people not answering the door. Really, the only enjoyment of the morning is stopping for that coffee or McDonald's or whatever your routine was. And it's really no different than being at conventions too. Like for me, I already knew at the convention I had a nice sub from somewhere, chips, drinks, something sweet. My favorite part of the convention was lunchtime. My second favorite part of the convention was the ending because I already knew like it's gonna be talks like, hey, where are we going tonight? Either my family was going somewhere or my friends and their family were going somewhere. We were going out to eat. And so, I mean, it might sound bad, but it also gives some insight into how repetitive and boring and ridiculous the structure is when it comes to the organization. Like, it's pretty sad when you got guys dressing up and preparing for weeks, months at a time to give parts, and the main thing that's standing out in your mind is cracking into your cold cut sub and your freaking fudge round at lunchtime. But Brother Buffet, man, Brother Buffet. And this dude, he was a professional, man. Like, he knew that if you could hit that timing just right, you could stay for breakfast and for lunch. So he get there just in time to probably get a few plates full of breakfast and then let that lunchtime roll right in. He would put a hurting on those guys. But all in all, I mean, hey, you going home full, and then at the end of the day, you still getting the clock 2.5, 3 hours worth of field service time. That's a win-win to me. That's my story about him. Let me know if you have that one, I don't know, brother, maybe it was a sister that was a part of the congregation, and maybe they didn't do everything by the book per se, but they still kind of made things more lively and more bearable. Drop your story in the comments because I'd like to hear about your experience with that. Yeah, but thanks for bearing with me, guys, because this one was completely off the top, kind of rambling, but I wanted to give you that insight because there's some funny moments that I had in the organization. There were some embarrassing moments. There was some trialsome moments because when you're a born in witness, sometimes those little moments like that will have some of the biggest memories on you. And for me, even right to this day, like that still stands out. So if you rock with that, do me a favor, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you haven't already. And if you want to take a deeper dive into perhaps having a one-on-one phone call to discuss some things regarding either considering leaving the organization or after have leaving the organization, be sure to check out my Patreon. The link will be in the description. But in the meantime, dodge the tower, claim your power, and I'll see you on the next one.